Hello. I think everything is up. Oh, I forgot to do my... Huh. I forgot to change my text. 1 second. But today we are making my version of a Minecraft sniffer, which is one of the ancient creatures you can find in Minecraft. There we go. And we'll hide that. I just forgot to remove that off the screen. There we go. So today we're going to sculpt him. I already have my my little foil base started, and I selected these for eyes. It shouldn't be too difficult. The body shape and everything's pretty simple. It's just mostly very oval with a large head and floppy ears. I'm going to do him laying down, since if you played the game, they tend to just like splay their legs out. They have 6 legs. They splay their legs out and start digging randomly. But I wanted to try to do a not necessarily realistic, but slightly more realistic, I guess, in my style, version of the Minecraft Sniffer. So that's what I'm going to be doing tonight. And then, of course, next week I will be painting it per usual. So first things first, we have to cover our base here. Yeah, let's make this unfolded with clay. And of course, I already rolled out pieces and prepared them, just so that I don't have to do that on video, because that's incredibly boring to watch. And I've been debating, it's difficult to decide how to do the face, because Minecraft art is very blocky, everything is square. So the sniffer has a very large beak-like nose on the front. I saw some suggested fan art and stuff that people have done where it seems almost dinosaur-like, and I think that's the route that I'm going to go, because it kind of seems to fit the theme, it seems to make sense to me, and it also can give you a beak-like appearance that's also a bit reptilian. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Oh, then I forgot to pull up my reference photos. Excuse me. And sorry if my voice is a little odd. My throat's been sore lately, so I might sound a little strange. Maybe not. Maybe it's just noticeable to me. But alright, let me pull up my reference photos. Alright, yeah. So the main design is that he has kind of a small head with a giant beak, floppy ears, 6 legs, and then a huge, massive, moss-covered body. So we are going to do that. But he has a giant yellow beak-like nose on the front, which is very important to the design, hence the name, the sniffer. But we're going to see what we can come up with to make this look right. Let's just smooth this out and attach it really well. Right now we just need to cover this in a thin layer of clay. And of course we'll have to add extra layers on top regardless, just to achieve the mossy, piled mossy like fur effect that he has on his back. Hopefully I'm talking loud enough today. I think I am. It's hitting the yellow, so we should be fine. But my voice is a little bit crackly, so. Come on. But yeah, the biggest features, they have a giant beak nose on the front. So I gotta find a way to make that look correct. Yeah, I already have a pretty good idea in mind. I looked at a bunch of different, both the design, the intended design, as well as some fan art ideas that people had, and I like some of them. I don't like others. Well, I don't really think there was any I disliked, but there were some that looked more like faithful to the original design, and others that took more liberty with it. But yeah, I got some ideas from that, and I'm thinking dinosaur-like is definitely the way to go. I'm also wondering how to do the legs. Of course, in Minecraft, they're just little square blocks. But obviously, this creature, I mean, it digs a lot in-game. So I feel like my original thought had been almost like elephant-type legs with like that reptilian skin, which is still the fur and feathers on top. But then I was like, but if it digs, it really kind of needs digging claws. So I'm not sure where I'm going with that yet. That'll be a challenge, but alright. Smooth this out a bit. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this again. And then I double checked to make sure I was correct. It does not have a tail. So, no tail. Some of the designs I think added a tail and it did look kind of cool, but it technically doesn't have one. So, or if it does, it maybe has a tiny little nub, but it doesn't look like it has one at all in the original design. Okay. I know it looks like a shapeless lump at the moment, but we're getting there. It's just the base we gotta work with. Blend the clay together a bit. Oh. Oh. And as always, I'm tired. I don't think I've done a video where I wasn't tired, so it's very, very on brand, very normal for me. I also don't think I've worked a shift at my job where I wasn't tired. Alright. Alright, so to do the head, we're also going to have to wrap another piece around here to thicken that up. Okay. Okay, now we kind of have a base shape that we can work with here. And then, let's see, which way are we flattening him? This. Alright, so this is going to be the base. Alright. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to add some clay here to widen up this part of the head for where the beak is going to go in front. So then we need to, and then I need to figure out where the eyes are going too, because let me see. Yeah, so like this part's going to be the head, so the eyeballs have to go right here and right here. Okay. Okay, build this up a bit. Attach the clay here. There we go. Perfect. Thankfully, I don't have to get the clay perfectly smooth because this guy's going to have a bunch of furry, mossy texture. So it's a lot harder when I have to do smooth textures. With this one, I just need to get the rough shape correct, and then I'll have to do a ton of patterns on it, which is also time-consuming, but it's easy. It just takes a while to do all the furry. I think he's technically feathered as well, but I'm going to do it more like a fur pattern. I think his ears were supposed to have feathers, maybe. Okay. I guess I should just keep using my thumb. It's working well enough. I have so many tools, and then I end up just using my hands 90% of the time. Because my fingers just work better than most of these tools. Except for when it's like really tiny little spots. Alright. So his eyeballs need to go right about here. I know the eyes are a little big, that's okay. We're going to cover them up a lot, so. Plus, I like larger eyes. I think it makes things cuter. Okay. So his eyeballs are going to go there. Let's make sure we got that placement correct. Okay. And then see, it's not quite symmetrical. Alright, so we're going to do some eyelids now that we have the eyeballs. Oops, accidentally got my hair in it. Oh. Oh. Quick little eyelid piece. Let's see. So I can go in a little further. This one needs to be more clay on top. Just trying to even these up so the shape is roughly the same on either side. There we go. Okay. That looks roughly the same, not identical, but close enough. There we go. Okay. And then I think what we're gonna do is shape the nose a little bit. Okay. And it's okay if we get to the foil here with the nose. We're going to because of how thin the clay is, and that's fine. All right. Smooth this part out a bit. And then I want to smooth this downward because I want to do a mouth like this. To here. It's almost like okay. There we go. Whoops. I dropped my knife. Or knife. Yeah, it is a knife. It's a butter knife. This was actually one of my kitchen butter knives, and I stole it one day, and then I think I have two that I put... Well, I guess I technically can't steal from myself. I stole it from my own kitchen. And then it became my permanent art tool. Okay. Alright. Alright, so we got a little bit of a face going on here. The beak, we can still smooth that out. We'll give it a little bit of texture, but it needs to be mostly smooth. It's the only real major part of this that is going to be smooth. Alright, and then we need a little ridge between the eyes, or the beak and the rest of the head. I'll make a thin little rope here. Now, let's see, it looks like in the Minecraft design, it curls around the eyes like this. And then yeah, like this. And it marks the distinction between the different colors, so like the moss color, the green color is on this little band piece, and the beak. And this looks like it's probably going to be a little bit furry, fluffy, so we'll do that with it. And then he needs big floppy ears right here. Alright, so that's our little ridge between the two. Where's my... There we go. Why is there... furry bits? Alright, so we have a little furry ridge between the beak and so on. Here, let me, there we go, that's better. You can see it a little better now. You can kind of see the beak that we gave him. And I'm assuming the actual, like, fur piece will start back here. Alright, but before we get too far into doing all of the patterns on him, we need to go ahead and give him some nice floppy ears. I say as I keep making the patterns that I'm not supposed to be working on yet. Okay. Alright, let's give him big flappy ears. No, they need to be bigger than that. Hold on. We're gonna push this together a little bit. And then we'll cut it in half. And we will add it on. Okay. Cut it in half. I don't think that was quite half. It was half. That's about right. And then roll these a little flatter. Mhm. Alright. We're gonna smooth this edge out to make it easy to attach. Well, we're gonna go ahead and do a bunch of fur pattern, very light fur pattern here, because I'm not gonna be able to do it after I attach the ear, because you'll see some of it, but it's gonna cover some of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it on here, just to make this easier. Alright. So we're gonna attach the ear right here. Only I should probably go ahead and make this all furry too. That way it's not hard to do later. We'll have to do the attachment points, but I want to go ahead and get this part done. There we go. Okay. gonna go ahead and attach it to the head. Okay. Like so, and then we'll add there we go. So he's got one little ear. Now we're going to do his other ear. We're going to make the edge curl a little bit because I like that look. And we're going to smooth the edge out so we can attach it easier. It's about the same size. There we go. Do the same thing. Where is... Okay, so we have some of the fur pattern done. We're now gonna put that on here. Yeah, a lot of this is just gonna be doing this for ages because it's the only way to really get a fur-ish texture on anything. The brush works too, but it does it very lightly, so I'll probably go over it with that stiff brush that I have that I use a lot. But it doesn't create a deeper texture that the paint doesn't always pick up on, and I wanted this to be very thick and furry looking, so the brush wouldn't be quite enough for that. Okay, let's put down a little bit right there. Ear down. Let's go ahead and attach this. Because he's also got moss on him, I do have, I may actually add some mossy texture, like fabric pieces and stuff that I have, because I used to do miniature scenes off and on too, so I have a bunch of like the fake grass and moss. I could do a little bit of that on his back. I think that would kind of be cool. So we'll see after I paint him, I might sprinkle some furry flocking like moss pieces on him. Alright. Let's get this in here. So this is what we have so far with the head of the sniffer. Now the back needs to have a big, not even that, it needs to wrap around most of it, to be honest. So let's get Let's do it like this. That actually may not be quite enough. Hold on. Okay. He's very potato shaped. Very potato. Okay. Pull this forward a little bit, like so. Alright. So then he's got a huge green moss pattern growing on his back here. Alright. This I'm not going to fully attach because I want to keep the distinction. So I'm going to use a thicker tool here to do this pattern, a thicker tool. And then, sorry, I keep forgetting my words mid-sentence. Use a thicker tool, and then I'll go back through and do the lighter stuff, because this is the green, like, moss stuff that grows on his back. I almost feel like I should do curly patterns with it. That might be... I don't know, that may not work. Alright. Yeah, and this is the part that I will sprinkle with some of the grass stuff that I have. I think that will look cool. I'm just doing little half circles everywhere instead of straight lines. And I think I should probably do some half circles here. There we go. Not sure how much you can see that on camera. It gives it almost a curly look. Fluffy look, kinda. Let's smack this down just a little bit, but we're not going to fully attach because it needs to have that separation. Okay. I think I'm going to do all the edges here, but I won't do the back fully until I finish the legs, because this is a nice way to hold him. And if I do that, I'll have to redo the pattern on the center. because I'll end up smashing it with my hand. Okay. So then we gotta start making his legs here shortly. He has 6. And I'm trying to think, I've seen some amphibian or lizard-like creatures that have interesting like digging claws. So I'm thinking maybe that route. We could also give him paws, but he feels like because he's supposed to be almost ancient dinosaur-like but feathered, I feel like maybe the reptilian digging claw kind of thing might be a better idea. But we'll see what I come up with as I work on it. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. May or may not work. Okay, so we will do the rest of the pattern on his back, but first we are going to grab most of our remaining clay here. And we're going to roll it up into a thing, and then we're going to cut it into 6. We're going to make the legs. Yeah, they just have them as a dark, like, black appearance. So initially I was like, I wonder if it's supposed to be like hooves. Sorry. It's thirsty. I was wondering if it was supposed to be hooves, but I don't think it really tells you. So I don't know. I was debating about it because it also reminded me a little bit of, like, I think whenever I don't even know if it's accurate that pigs look for truffles, but like pigs can dig things. So I was like, it could do a hoofed appearance too, but I don't know. I think slight digging claws might look better. They would be harder to achieve a good appearance on, but it would probably look more cool, I think. So I don't know. Sorry, you can hear the sound of all my tools and things rattling. Yeah, let me stand up. Yeah, let me move this so it stops making noise. Put it on the floor. There we go. I think we're almost done here. Make it a little thinner in a few spots. Okay, so now I'm going to do this like so. So we have 2 halves. And now we cut it in thirds. So like, and That's not quite thirds. That's okay. I think the middle leg should be a little shorter. Okay. Alright, just a little bit here. These will be the middle legs. Alright, so now we gotta think, how do we want to do... We could do it like three-toed maybe. See how that looks. Like this. So maybe kind of do a webbed, slightly webbed thing with nails here. Like so. Let me glance at one of my texture rollers here. I think it would be, yeah, appropriate to use this one here. There we go. Alright, so now we gotta do this one. Let's do it this way. A bit. Alright, so now we're going to do the nails. Alright, and then we do the little ridges here. And here. And we take our texture roller. Okay. And then we'll do some skin ridges there. Alright. Now, let's smooth the edges out here so we can attach the first legs. There. And I got to attach them to the body, like so. I think I ended up going for more of an alligator look for the legs, which is fine. I'm cool with it. Okay. Alright, those are his first legs. Now we got to do the middle legs, which I think need to be a little bit shorter. Okay. We'll do the same thing for these. Alright. Let's do the nails here. Alright, so now we're going to attach this leg. There we go. That's that leg. So next we're going to do this one on the opposite side. You can see we're coming along nicely with our sniffer. Alright. Okay. Let's flatten that a bit. Okay. Okay. Now we got to do the third set of legs. Okay. He's kind of right there. There we go. We are almost finished with this little guy. Just got to do these last legs here, and then we'll finish up the furry moss feather pattern that we're doing. All right. Okay. All right. So now these are the two back legs. Let's do the nails. Okay, let's do this real quick here. Yeah, I do really love these texture rollers. Wish I had more in different patterns and stuff. They do make more. Okay, fix. There we go. I was making him a little bit lopsided. Okay. Let's go ahead and smooth this portion out. All right. Okay. And I think the last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to have the moss part come down over the back here a bit more than I did initially. I think that'll look better. We're going to go ahead and add this. Okay. And then I'll textural some of the legs again here. All right. And do a quick like strip of moss here. There we go. And then all right. Now we just gotta do the we'll start with the light texture. A very light fur-like texture that's going to go here. It's going to come down a little bit on each leg. And then underneath the moss. All right. All right. Okay. Almost done there. Alright, so we've gotten that mostly done. To reestablish some texture on these that we accidentally smashed out. Alright, so now we get to do the final bit here, which is just tons of this swirly pattern everywhere. Almost done. Just gotta do this pattern everywhere. Oh, almost finished. Alright, so let's lay them down again. And it's making my hand cramp up. Ah, okay. One tiny little patch left. Yeah, my hand. Now some of those pieces are definitely going to come off when I paint it, but that's fine. Some of these pieces are going to be loose. Okay, let's double check here, but I think we got everything done. So we got his 6 legs. I'm going to do this very lightly. Barely making little vertical line impressions on the beak. I don't know if they'll even be visible on the camera at all. Probably not at this stage. They will be visible when we paint. Let's give some texture to the beak. Okay. Okay. You might be able to see it a little bit, but there we go. We have our 6 legs. We have our giant mossy back. We have the fur, the floppy ears, this little ridge around the eyes. We have the beak. And yeah, there we go. That is our Minecraft Sniffer, at least done in my style instead of the pixel block style. But I'm pretty happy with him. I think he's pretty cute. Pretty accurate. Like I said, I had to take a lot of liberty with the feet because all Creatures Minecraft feet looked exactly the same because of the pixel or the blocky pixel design. But we're done with our little sniffer. So if you watch this video, I greatly appreciate it. Any interactions or anything you give me, I do appreciate those. I take suggestions within reason. So yeah, if you have like a creature you'd like to see me do, I'm more than happy to try. But for now, I will wish you a good night and thank you for watching this. I will be back next week painting this little guy that we made tonight. So hope to see you then and have a good night.